Yeah, hey everyone, Brian with you from TheGameCommon. We are back doing more AI-only battles in Civ 6, continuing our championship series, our second chance rounds, and getting close to the end of this one. Pretty sure we already have our 3 contestants that will be moving on, but, you know, they say anything can happen, so we're going to keep running it and see what ends up happening. So, let's see. There's a lot of little different wars. I think the 2 things that we really want to pay attention right now is the Amphilius, and then over here with Bajamaman. We kind of want to see whether or not that flips to Indonesia. If Indonesia can take it back, there is a chance, because Rustavi was flipping to her before when she had that town. And if she could take that, there's just the slightest of chances maybe she could get herself back into it. Really, at this point, she's kind of hoping that Khmer just gets crapped on by the Aztecs. And that just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Even though they've been pretty much enemies the entire game, I don't think they've actually fought a single war against each other. Yeah, mostly because Aztecs have been in an infinite war over here with Macedonia. And Macedonia is just getting massively out-schooled, outclassed. I still don't know how Poland ended up getting Krakow back. That just kind of blows my mind. Ooh, rock bands. Germany? Perhaps? Yeah, who's got the rock bands? Well, we could search. It's got to be Germany, right, man, right? So maybe we're going to have an early win here? Or an earlier win that I was going to give credit for? Germany. Aztecs have some too. Germany has 2. Aztecs have 2. Come on. Germany has 3. Aztecs have 2, I think. Maybe Aztecs have 3. Whatever. It's a mix. It's a mix. So the problem is, since they're both doing it, it seems highly unlikely one's going to be able to get more than the other. So they're basically just going to keep competing against each other and driving that tourism up. Yeah, I mean, look, 223 to 212, neither is going to win. And unfortunately, they both seem to be going for a cultural victory, although potentially you might be going for a science victory. At 219, it's a potential. Yeah, immediately takes it back. Immediately. So we might just be in a stalemate here for a little bit. If we end this episode and it seems like we're in a stalemate, what we might end up doing is we might just end up letting the game run and then pop back at the end. Just after we see whether or not anything's going to happen here. So you spawned... Who was spying on you? It must have been caught then, because we don't see any spies over here. Probably Germany, I would think. Probably Germany. Also, aren't you two still at war? Why are you not pillaging? No, you're not at war with Germany anymore. I was like, why aren't you pillaging the missionaries here? So, what are we looking at over here right now? 800, almost, yeah, over 200 ahead now with the Alverman. So it's definitely seeming more and more like he's going to win. All right, yeah, we will definitely then at the end of this episode, like with maybe a couple minutes remaining, just let the game run and see what happens. And then we'll pop back in with kind of the epilogue. Just because it's like when it's already one of these games where it's like, yeah, it seems like we're clearly going to have a victor. We just got to sit here and wait 100 turns for someone to actually try going out. Because, you know, how culture works, like science, it doesn't matter. If everyone's going for science, it doesn't make science any harder to win. But if everyone's going for a cultural victory, culture is super hard to win. And that's the one thing that's kind of misbalanced about, like, a lot of these different... That's why science is just so much easier, because even religion's that same way. Where if everyone's going religion, it's really hard to actually win a religious victory. But once again, if everyone's going science, it's not really any easier and or harder. I mean, I guess maybe they're spying on you and pillaging your crap, but that's kind of not that big of a deal. Religious is kind of all over the place. Yeah, no one's really doing that. Domination is kind of all over the place too. I feel like you should get more score the more, like, if you have a capital, I think that should give you a little more score personally. But once again, that's only to balance score victory. And I'm pretty sure when they're balancing the game, score victory wasn't really that thought about. Not like knocking it, saying it's super imbalanced, because I don't think that's the case. It's just like, I think score victory is kind of like, I don't know, that might just be a holdover. It might be the same system as like Civ 5, Civ 4. It wouldn't surprise me. With some slight tweaks. So, we do have tornadoes spawning up there. I'm wondering if we're seeing more hurricanes spawn at the same spot. I've seen the storm peter out, but we hadn't really looked. God, Mali has so many troops right now. Indonesia, see, Indonesia's losing more of their territory. Yeah, and losing up there too. Yeah, it's just, it's bad. It's looking worse and worse for Indonesia as the game goes on. She was doing so well too. She just completely, like, just sputtered out. I don't know. I think it was when everyone declared war on her, right? She just was never really able to recover from that. I think it's because her army at that point got almost destroyed. And she has a pretty large army right now. But once again, it's almost extraordinarily, like, too sea heavy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she has a naval focus agenda? Yeah, maybe that's it. And so she's building a huge navy, which is just not helping her at all. So Poland's actually going to end up flipping you at some point. Huh, interesting. And Pachacuti maybe could catch up? Yeah, he maybe could have been in this if Georgia didn't just completely cut him off. And in fact, Sumeria is about to pass Gitaja. Wow. But see, Georgia, the reason she's not winning is because she got completely cut off over here by Germany. And then obviously losing her city up here really, really sucked. And the other thing is she just has so much in tundra, and her production's just terrible down here. Yeah, there's really not that many hills. So she's just been playing from behind from the get-go. And then Germany forward settling her just absolutely wrecked her. Just wrecked. I love how Rustavi has basically just become Kabul 2.0. You're just existing as a free city from now on. He's literally gaining HP quicker than... Like, what I'm confused about with this city flipping is where the freaking heck are the units spawning? Because should they not spawn and then be able to attack with units first before the AI gets to go? Apparently not. Apparently not. Both of these ended up flipping from Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is just basically fading. Wow. I was going to make a sports reference, but then I realized I didn't want to make it because it actually depresses me because it involves a sports team I cheer for. So, no. Oh, and now I just thought of another one of my sports teams because all my sports teams are terrible. Hey, oi. You know, aha, here's a sports reference that is very worldly appealing. It's, well, okay, maybe English appealing, but it's like Manchester City this year, am I right? They started off strong, but they're quickly fading. Leicester City, baby, let's go. All right, enough of Premier League. As like world appeals, well, I guess that's the funny thing. I don't know how much of Europe, I mean, I imagine most of Europe probably doesn't watch the Premier League. I'm probably just mostly England, right? At least you actually have roads to the Golden Gate Bridge, because it's always great when you build the Golden Gate, but then you don't have roads to and from it. That's always fun. That's always fun. So Estadio is about to be complete in, Aztec/Mexico, which seems kind of fitting. Although, wait. No, it's Brazil. I think I'd go through this every time. It's actually Brazilian, right? Yeah, Brazil. Every time. For whatever reason, I always think it's the Estadio de Americano. Whatever. I know my Spanish is terrible, and yeah. No points earned towards... Let's do Great Admiral, because who cares about that? They'll probably double... We'll do Artifact. They're probably going to double writing. And then I'm going to vote myself to lose 3. And then sure, have fun. No one's going to be close to diplomatic victory. I mean, we've seen this so many times now, or enough times to know that, like, literally no one's going to get the diplomatic victory. No great musician points. Writing's doubled. Jadwig got 2, and then it passed. Like, I feel like diplomatic victory points should also give you score, too. Like, there's nothing in here for diplomacy. So they ended up adding diplomacy, and I know I've talked about this before. They ended up adding this as a victory type, but then every other victory type has something in the score, adjusts the score at some point, and they didn't change it. Which, you know, you kind of got the final screen and all that, and it would require rebalancing, so I can kind of understand why they didn't do it, but, you know. For the sake of, like, this game, especially when the AI will sometimes go for it, it kind of isn't fair, because sometimes the AI will be like, we're going to go for a diplomatic victory, and then it literally gives them no score, and it, yeah. Yeah. So Mali, ironically enough, is getting very strong and big right now. It's not like they've even been getting golden ages. They've just been kind of existing since the beginning of time. And, you know, hey, there you go. Someday Germany's going to lose that. Someday. They're fighting ATs now in their own territory. Yo, I'm never going to fight for my land, buddy. Ottomans exist over here. Interesting. Dude, Germany got huge. Yeah, they got really big when we weren't paying attention. Aztecs have kind of just like stabilized and stayed the same. And I'm kind of really disappointed that Yavarman and Aztecs never went to war with each other. That honestly is probably what screwed over Gitaja more than anything. Had they fought like 1 or 2 wars, it could have been a completely different game, especially if Aztec would have gone and, I mean, they probably would have been able to take some stuff. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's why he's been so powerful. But then why not declare war on Aztecs? Because Aztecs have newer troops, I guess? I don't know. Anyone going for a science victory? Pachacuti looks like he... Okay. So Pachacuti might be able to sneak in here then with the science victory, perhaps. Everyone is still so far away. Oh my gosh. This game is going to go on forever. Literally. Well, Germany's halfway through a cultural victory. Nope, not even close. Never mind. 56 technologies, 50. Where's Pachacuti? 41. And he just dropped his science per turn, too. Yeah, he just switched policies. All right, it looks like Aztecs might actually do a science victory. But somehow, they're still only here. They've not even gotten into the modern era stuff yet. Oi. Are they still doing culture? Yaverman. Oh my gosh. Even he has rock bands now. So, yeah. And also remember, he got a bunch of wonders. So that's probably partly, too, why he's gaining so much tourism. I don't see it happening. I really don't see a cultural victory happening. It's too spread out. No one really went crazy on it. And Aztecs are starting to go a little crazy when it comes to culture, but I think it's a little too late. Like, if this would have been like 220, 230, and they were rolling with 454 culture, that would be a completely different game. And then if we look over here and score and we look at how many wonders they have, 135, I mean 120. It's just like, I just don't see them getting enough tourism. Yeah. And right now, Germany actually technically has the most tourism. So, you know. All right. Let's see. You're still Pajama Man. That's what we were calling it. Still kind of hanging out in German territory. Imagine living in this poor city. It's size 1. Literally everyone has left the city or been killed. Because they're just like, oh, hey, we flipped. Oh, hey, we are back. No, we don't want to be a part of your rule. Okay, you enslave. Actually, I think it's just everyone's dying, I think is what's happening. They're like, no, we don't want to belong to you. And they're like, all right, well, we're going to kill everyone here. And then the next era of children grow up and they're like, hey, we don't want to belong to you. And then they get murdered. Dude, I can't believe Poland survived, man. Can't believe Poland survived. Aren't you at war with Aztecs? Or sorry, Alexander? Yeah. Alex Buddy, he's just like, and see, here's the problem. Because he's been fighting perpetual, never-ending wars. He just has never really been able to build up a troop count. So he can't actually go take over Poland, who has really not been doing much fighting. So, hey, Aztecs, you know what would be great right about now? Some nukes. That would add a certain level of excitement to the game. For sure. Wait, they have nuclear subs. Okay, here we go. I was going to say, they have nuclear subs. They should be getting rocket sites here pretty freaking quick then. Apparently, they've not picked up rocket sites, however, because they have not... Oh, nope. They got one being built. So they are going to be shooting rockets off here pretty quick then. So, yeah. This might not be one in which I have to sit here and run off camera for 6 hours. Excuse me. Get some drink. I was up early with the puppy. So, yeah, I guess we can talk about the puppy since the game's kind of, whatever. So, puppy's been good. She, first day was, first night was absolutely horrendous. I basically had to sleep on the couch, and she was on the ottoman in her little crate, and I had to stick my fingers in the cage, basically once an hour every time she woke up, so she would calm down. She'd fall asleep on my hand. I would then slowly have to remove my hand from it. Sometimes she would wake up and I'd just keep my hand outside the cage. But that was like the only way she would actually quiet. And it was like every hour she was waking up. And then sometimes she wouldn't quiet. And so then I would have to take her out. But she's gotten really much more confident, much more comfortable. Like we can actually leave her and walk in different parts of the houses without her freaking out. So it's been good. It's been good. She's freaking cute though. She's freaking cute. I need to get some videos up on the channel. I know. I just been not having time, mostly because, all right, so if you want to know what's like having a puppy, I tried watching a 2-hour movie on Monday and it took me 5 hours. And then last night, me and Emily had to spend like an hour washing her paws because she decided to walk all over her poop and track poop all over the house. It was great. It was great. And of course it was raining yesterday, And it's not that she hates rain. She loves rain. But, every time we brought her in the house, she was like covered in dirt. And it's just like, really, dog? But anyways. Okay. Back to the game. All right. What's happened? Science. He still has not. He has built a spaceport. Okay. Let's see if anyone else has a spaceport built. It doesn't look like he's launching the rocket because that bar's not ticking. So he built the spaceport, but he's not launching rockets. No, he's building a commercial hub now. Furthering my thought that he's not going for a science victory. Yeah, he's still only at 282. I don't think he's going for a science victory, guys. I really do think he's doing a cultural victory. 612 there. It's not going to happen, though. I mean, look, Germany, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Germany still has enough tourism to fend them off. And if not Germany, look at Khmer going up there with all the wonders. So it's really just going to come down to how long until he actually decides he's going to start shooting off all the rockets. Well, here's the good thing. Eventually, he's going to end up researching all the tech, and eventually he's going to start shooting off rockets. The worst case scenario at this point is if he decides to start building a bunch of death orbits. Okay, he's shooting off at least one now. Yeah, so I don't think he's actually going for the science victory, but he might still passively actually end up shooting them off. And then he'll actually win the game that way. So we'll see. I will probably put the pause in the episode as soon as we get to the end of this era and see what it looks like. Germany is coming hard, man. Are they fighting Kabul? No. You're not influenced by anyone. Kabul, the little city-state that could, man. Seriously. Survived the entire game. Dude, Free City Settler, let's freaking go. Yeah. Come on, let's make a freaking nation of cities, free cities, man. I love it. Also, I love how there's a wonder in this city, too. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So that would be 20 points plus 15. It would be an extra 35 points if she could get it back. Yeah, I don't think that's going to make a difference. Really, at this point, it's going to come down to whether or not someone else can sneak out a rocket shot. All right, so Khmer and Aztecs got golden ages. Dude, that's like 3 in a row for Khmer, it seems like right now. Then normal ages across the board except Gitaja and Alexander. All right, I'll be back in a second with the epilogue. Yeah, hey everyone, what happens when no one wants to actually win the game? We are almost at the end of the atomic era, almost turned 350, and have the Aztecs shot off? Nope, they still have not even shot off their third rocket yet. Cool. Diplomacy, I mean, maybe someone like with the 14, we might actually see a diplomacy victory. We might legitly see a diplomacy victory. Because chances are, like, Germany's probably going to get 3 points. Because they're, maybe. Because they'll probably end up voting against Yaverman. But then we might actually have back-to-back guys that might actually be at 17 points after this. So theoretically, we could actually maybe have a diplomacy victory in 30 turns. Oy, this is like silly. This is absolutely silly. I don't think I've ever seen the AI just like, nah, we're just done. So, hey, look, hurricane spawning, same point. All right, well, be back still in another minute, I guess. All right, guys, I'm calling it. I got things to do. No one seems interested in winning this game. This is getting absolutely silly. Like, at this point, Germany is now shooting off rockets, but it doesn't look like anyone else is going to have a come-from-behind victory. I don't think if I ran this... I mean, at this point, it looks like we might actually have to go to 500 turns to actually end the game, because all the main dudes are all going for freaking cultural victory, and it's just like, oh my god, shoot me in the face. And I don't think anyone else is going to be able to come back. Bajanaman did end up flipping over back to Indonesia, but like nothing major is happening from there. Is Alexander dead? No, he's not dead, but he's about to be dead. So literally, who else is going to make the only person that could potentially come in here would be Pachacuti, but let's see, where's Pachacuti? He's only at 294 science, and he's not even started shooting off rockets yet. Okay, Georgia is. Oh gosh, dang it. Fine, we'll be back in a little bit. You know, I just not remember that. I think in the past, we've actually set like the turn timer to end at 375 just for literal reasons like this. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it. Aztecs did finally shoot off that last rocket, but of course they're doing it 1 light year per turn, and they're not shooting off anything else that will actually speed it up, because why, when you can build a whole bunch of nuclear subs instead? Frederick Barbosa also is shooting it off, but his is only going 1. Point is, it doesn't really matter. One of these two guys is going to be able to win before anyone else. No one's close in culture at this point. Domination's the exact same. Religion's the same way. Actually, you know what? Let's hold up. We got diplomacy. There's a small chance that someone wins diplomacy, and we only got 5 more turns on that. So we will go there. And from now on, I got to remember to set the turn timer. I think 375. Like, this has just been kind of stupid. Like, it happens every once in a while where, you know, basically everyone who is doing anything in this game is all going for the same victory type. And so it just sits here forever and ever and ever and ever. And there's just no way that anyone's going to overcome it. I mean, the only way, I don't even think these guys, have you even been at war? I've honestly not even been watching the game. Now, I was like, even if you're at war with the Aztecs, maybe that would be the only thing that could happen. But if they've not been at war at this point, like, I just don't see them actually going to war. The one thing I will say, though, is everyone's probably fairly even now when it comes to units. I mean, you have a lot of death robots, but, like, tech-wise, everyone should be pretty close by, except for maybe those death robots. Don't really see any death robots over here, so... All right, how many turns? 3 turns. 3 turns, we will see if anyone wins, and then we'll go from there. Dude, you got pillaged. Oh, my gosh. Wow, look at where the dock is now. Wow, you lost a lot of land. That's pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Anything flood over here? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, he also had the flood barrier, so he was able to protect his stuff, it looks like. Javaman. Yeah, it's just like no one, like, people are shooting off rockets. It's just really slow. Like, no one's really super interested in it. All right, so Georgia also got wrecked a little bit too. Germany should have been fine because they were pretty high. No, Germany got flooded as well. Well, at least they're using good use. They're putting a bunch of solar power out there now. You know, very helpful now that the entire world's flooded. And yeah, we're maxed out on climate change. Vadwig, how are you doing? You actually were able to survive. Yeah, you were able to survive. And Mali didn't really take that much damage. He only had a couple that ended up flooding. So, all right, 1 turn. Let's see what happens. Let's do, I don't know if anyone actually has anything, but we'll do Montezuma. Ban the production of coal power, sure. I'm going to vote for myself. If someone wins because of that 1 point, well, that would actually be hilarious. Come on, give me the end screen. No. So let's see. Jadwig ended up losing 3 points, but Germany didn't end up winning. So they might be at like 18. They got 1 point. They might be able to win the next time, but all right, well, there we are. We're going to wrap it up. Congratulations, Khmer. Congratulations, Montezuma. Congratulations, Frederick Barbosa. Those are going to be the 3 moving on to our knockout rounds. Everyone else, good try, good try, good try. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode, another group. See you guys then. Bye.